Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to HearthCenter. Sorry for the slightly late start, but we are here and we are ready to talk about all things pro, power rankings, the Week 6 meta. But first of all, I am Donde. I'm excited to be here, and I am joined, as always, by TwoStarMako. Mako, how are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, I'm trying to finish the ladder game. It started a while ago, so
As
don't
is
get on me
tradition.
this time. This time it actually started a little bit before, so it's just going long.
All right.
But
Uh,
doing pretty good, doing pretty good.
Good. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're happy. Glad the ladder match is going well. We also have a special guest tonight. As you can see down below Mako is a little guy named Mike Wazowski. Mike, how are you tonight?
Just ready to get some screams and power up the city. I'm excited. Sully should be here shortly, I hope, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's usually the one that generates the screams. You're kind of more of like
Yeah,
the
I'm just his manager.
you're like the coach, the manager.
Yep.
So, but you got jokes. So that's good because we want jokes on the show tonight. So.
Donde's THL career.
Ouch. Yeah. Yeah. we can talk about last week if you want. It went 1-9 in 3 series. So.
Yeah,
That's a big joke. Big joke last week. And of course, Lotus
had
is
made
here.
sure to let Donde know.
Oh yeah,
you're
okay.
the worst board member.
Thanks, bud. LotusKnight is here too. Lotus, how are you tonight?
Hey everyone, I'm doing well. Bit tired. It's raining a lot. I don't think I'll have power issues, but if I disappear, you all know what happened.
All right. Well, we'll try to keep tabs on you. Make sure to send someone by in case, the power goes out. We'll just check on you, make sure everything's good. So we are here ready to talk about some pro series. Big week in pro last week. A lot of really important matches got played, which we will get to in a little bit. But first, let's talk about the lineups that kind of showed up here in a post-nerf meta. That is the Week 6 meta. You can see there's only 4 lineups that were actually fairly common this last week, as opposed to our usual 6, 7, or 8. These are all the lineups that had more than 2 appearances, and as you can see, they had at least 5. So Demon Hunter featured prominently in all of these, and then you got Warrior in 3 of them, Mage in a pair, Priest in 2 of them as well, Paladin in 2, and Hunter in 2. So you can kind of see a little bit of where the meta was going. Everyone avoided Druid for the most part. Guardian Animals got nerfed, so that's gone. And then Mage is still present because of Cyclone Mage, but not not the Tortolan Mage that was difficult to play, but if you could play it well, was a pretty good deck. So let's just talk about these lineups here a little bit. Lotus, I know you love to dig into these, so I'll start with you. What did you see last week? Do you think that these lineups are what we'll see again this week? And if not, what do you think we will see?
Sure. So I think I want to call attention to one class when looking into this, which is Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter had the highest game count. It was the most broad class, and it didn't have a wide win rate. At the same time, Druid and Priest had a pretty high win rate, and Demon Hunter had actually a pretty fair number of bans. What I think is happening is a lot of people targeted Demon Hunter because they felt Soul Demon Hunter was just really strong post nerf, but it is still targetable. Druid still beats it, and I think that's what we're seeing with this data is the meta's kind of warping itself. Instead of warping itself around Druid like it was before or around Warrior, it's starting to warp itself around Demon Hunter. That's the point I see interesting. So you either choose a ban Demon Hunter strategy and you're going with decks that are hurt by it, like Hunter and Mage, or you choose to say, yeah, I don't want to. I want to face Demon Hunter, and I'm going to bring that Druid Paladin combo.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assessment of it, and I would say on a personal level, I expected my opponent to bring Soul Demon Hunter, and they must have known that because they did not. So that is probably what a lot of people kind of took the route with when they were crafting their lineups, going with what they figured would be the most likely to be in their opponent's lineup, and it paid off if that's what you did in most cases based on the figures we're seeing here. So, Mike, aka Brushy, aka the Waz, what did you see here last week? You like that?
I did. That was really well done.
Well, what are your thoughts here?
You know, Demon Hunter, I think, still prevailing is one of the best decks in the format because it's the only one across all four the top lineups here. So you know, a lot of other classes and decks are fighting for you know, that second and third best slot, and as we can see, it's looks like a pretty close fight between like Paladin, Priest, Mage, and Hunter, possibly Warrior up there, but it gets targeted pretty easily. So who knows if you can really count that as a top deck right now?
Yeah. I will say the numbers at the bottom, and Cool Kid brings us up. Cool Kid happened to be my opponent last week, and I can confirm with 100% certainty he brought Shaman. He played it for one game, and he won with it. So I don't know why it's showing 0 down in the bottom section of the graphic here. He definitely won with it. So that should be at least a 1-0, dragging all of these stats into question. So that's I guess here's the transition to Mako, who loves Shaman. So
I think there's some deep state conspiracy that R-Hat's running against the Shaman class here.
You think the representation is much higher than he's letting on?
Yeah, definitely. There's at least one more.
Well, he like I said, he definitely won. He definitely reported. So I don't know why the Shaman is not showing up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the most intriguing thing to me looking at the data is on the overall win rate side, where only 4 classes have a 50% or higher win rate. Like that to me is kind of the most glaring thing. And below that one that's at 50%, it goes down to like 48.5.
Which I think means that those decks are still pretty viable, you know? I mean, just because a deck is below 50% doesn't necessarily mean that it's not worth bringing. Because there's always a lineup for it. There's always something to target with it.
Well, the funny thing is, though, too, like, the two classes I feel like we see the most, Demon Hunter and Warrior, which I guess number-wise, they're 2 of the top 3. Well, I guess throw Rogue in there. They're under that 50% line.
Well, they're under the you either ban it or you have a strategy to face it. So
right.
I think Warrior is always going to be negative in a meta like this, even though Warrior is a powerhouse class. It's just because Warrior, either you're choosing to ban Warrior or you're choosing to build around it to face it directly. And I think Demon Hunter is in a similar state.
Yeah, and then Conquest is obviously very good for that, and in a format where the lists are open, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your targeting and say, I'm going to go after that Soul Demon Hunter, I'm going to go after that Bomb Warrior, because once those decks are revealed, there's no adjusting that can go on in the post-reveal phase before your match. So the target strategy can pay off, or it can fail spectacularly, as it did in a certain someone's case here on the panel this past week that I may have already alluded to. So that's it's interesting, and this is only 1 week's worth of data after we have those 2 nerfs, which one of those nerfs is I think a little bit more impactful because I feel like Mage wasn't, or the Tortolan Mage specifically wasn't that well represented. Like I said, it was played by a select few, and if you played it well, it was great, but it was really hard to play for the most part, at least correctly. So I think the Guardian Animals nerf is the more impactful, and as we saw there, Druid fell all the way down to the 3rd least selected class. It did receive a ban, though. It still somehow received a ban. Just because, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to see what they were packing for Druid that week. But, Druid still did all right. So I think Druid will still be a feature in some capacity here going forward.
I mean, Quest Druid's picking up a lot of popularity because it does pretty well into Warrior and Soul Demon Hunter. So that's probably what the one ban was. They probably brought like Warrior and Demon Hunter, and they're like, you know what? I'm good. We're just, I don't want to even see if I'm going to beat this deck because I have no idea. Let's just get it out of there and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, Quest Druid is intriguing for sure. I'll be interested to see if we watch Druid's numbers bump up this week, if that happens to be brought a decent amount. So yeah, I think we will too. All right, well, let's talk a little about the matches that happened last week. And let's just go ahead and rip this Band-Aid off. It's the first match is Hype Horizon versus Aeon. Yeah. Hype Horizon is the number 1 team. That means they get the top billing in the in the review section here. So yeah, 15-11, not a terrible score here. Aeon puts up some points, no sweeps, which I guess is always encouraging, and a 3-2 win against the top team. I'm not too, or 3-2 loss in our case, 3-2 win for Hyper Horizon. Not that disappointing, but as you can see, Cool Kid and Liquid Ox handled business at the top, 3-1 over myself and Mark Shire. Ridiculous Hat did get the win over D Money, 3-2. McBanterface on stream on Saturday, great series there, beat Neji Boston 3-1, and then Risen picks up a win over Gamer RVG. So a lot of close matches. Not everyone, only one of them actually went the distance in 5 games, but encouraging for Aeon to pick up some points against a team that is so clearly the best team in the series right now.
Yeah.
Mako?
Yeah. So I learned something last week, and
Okay.
it's if I want to win our HearthCenter pick series here.
Oh yeah, we didn't show those yet. I'll get to those.
I
in
have
a bit.
to be realistic because I almost got this entire match correct, and to do so, I had to pick against my own team in 4 out of 5 matches. So I looked at it, I was like, what's more important here? And I ultimately decided on my picks. So it felt bad. I wasn't happy about doing it, but I took the lead.
Wow.
And this match actually was closer than I think some people probably would have given us credit for, because we did lose, but we lost with 11 points. So I think given the circumstances, I think we really held our own.
Yeah, and Aeon's sitting at 3-3 right now, with the hardest opponent, average opponent schedule, as you can see in the chart below, at 16.17. Second place is Bad to the Bone, who is also doing very, very well. So you got a couple teams that are, at least in playoff contention, if not in the playoff race as it stands right now, that have had really hard schedules, and that can actually turn around here in the final few weeks of the season. Brushy, you believed in Hyper Horizon here.
I did.
You did.
I did.
So they fulfilled your faith in them with a you had it as a 4-1. You didn't get the exact 4 right, but you were correct in that regard. Actually, no, I'm sorry, you were incorrect. It was a 3-2.
I was wrong.
Yeah, you got 4 picks correct because you had R-Hat winning, the only one that you had faith in Aeon. So
no, I had R-Hat losing. You're looking at Mako.
I am looking at Mako. Yeah, man. I don't know. Wrong column.
No, let's just skip all my picks for this week. Anytime we come around to picks, let's just put the skip command in chat and we'll move on.
I'm gonna quick overlay the picks because we accidentally skipped that.
No.
Yeah. Brushy did take it on the chin this week.
Nah, we good. We good. I said we good. Donde skip.
No, Brushy was 13 out of 30. I was the leader at 20 out of 30, but Mako was the leader overall as the first to make 100.
Skip.
I took it off the screen for
How you guys feeling down there in your double digits?
Mako, you got 1 week lucky, bruh.
Yeah.
Lucky. Lol.
I'm gonna stick true to my style of picking 5-0 unknown every week, and I'm still gonna make a comeback.
I'll remember to submit picks.
Yeah, if you lose to Lotus after he missed a week of picks, that's going to be the ultimate embarrassment.
I'm just not going to come back to HearthCenter.
You keep picking
5-0s
for the third to last team in Pro.
Yeah, I will.
You keep doing that.
I'm confident in my team.
But Lotus, anything about Hyper Horizon versus Aeon before we move on to match number 2?
I thought this would be a wider gap. I actually think Aeon did pretty well for how high a standing I see Hyper Horizon as a team.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. An encouraging loss, to say the least, for Aeon.
Yeah.
So moving on to match number 2 is For the Boys versus The Unknown, Brushy's team. Brushy.
Skip.
We're going to talk about a good thing real quick. We're going to talk about how you got a sweep over Mata. That was the only win for The Unknown.
You won!
You were literally a third of your team's points, so that's not ideal. But
this has been my entire my hero season wrapped up in one.
More than a third. 4 nights.
Poor ATL. but we're not in hero. We're in pro. Yeah, just a rough week. We took some guesses on what our opponents were going to bring, and they so we took that approach of like, let's bring targeted style lineups, and we kind of miss on some of these matchups. So it was a little rough. I think I was the only one to guess my entire opponent's lineup correctly, and obviously I got the sweep for it. So
Yeah.
But
Speaking of guessing, I'd like to point out that I guessed all 5 of these correct.
did you really?
I did. I got this exactly right.
Hold on, I'm gonna go double check you.
Oh,
Go
wow.
for it. While you're double checking,
You really picked me as the only win?
I sure did, my friend.
Wow, that's impressive, actually.
Yeah. That's why I won the week.
That's. I mean, did you have more than Mako?
Yeah.
We call
Did
that
you
a
only get
reverse
19?
Aeon.
Yeah.
The reverse Aeon.
Shame, Mako. Shame.
Lotus, this one wasn't that close. For the boys is a team that's surging. They're undefeated right now, despite having fewer points than Hyper Horizon. They are still averaging almost 18 points a week. So this is actually, by all standards, a down week for them, only getting 16 points. I'm sure they're not too upset. Yeah,
we did it.
Congrats, Unknown, for taking a few more points off for the boys than normal. But Lotus, were you shocked here by this outcome in any way?
No, this is kind of how I expected this match to go. Congrats, Tuna, winning quite an important result.
Indeed.
Gotta keep my record above 500 and above.
Yeah, 500. I mean, in Pro Series, if you're at 500, you're doing pretty well for yourself. There's a lot of tough competition out here.
Is Ron's 2-4, so I just gotta be better than 2-4.
Well, yeah. Now you get you get an extra week because even if he catches you this week, he still won't pass you. So you got like a 2-week buffer effectively.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
All right, Mako, thoughts on this one?
Hold on, it's covering a little bit. I got the match right, I guess. I just didn't get. I need to stop picking Ron each week, just like instinctively. He's let me down 33.3% repeating of the time.
that is how the math works on that.
It's really fucking up my picks.
Me too, but I'm still picking Ron.
Yeah, I know you're picking everybody.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at match number 3. Just so happens to be our third member of the panel's team, Bad to the Bone, versus Mash and Weisha's. Bad to the Bone with a win 14-10. So as we mentioned before, Bad to the Bone is one of the teams with the harder schedule so far. Yet 4-2, still winning games, just under 100 points on the season. Weisha's are really struggling. I think we're past the point now where we can say maybe the start of the season was a bit fluky. Maybe this is just not their meta, not their season. But Bad to the Bone with a win 14-10. And I will say I went, actually, Lotus, you as well, which makes sense because it's your team. We went out on a limb and said a Bad to the Bone sweep was imminent. So I was a little bit off on that. Well, that's what I get for believing in you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why anyone believes in me, but that's fair. I thank you for the respect.
Yes. So, talk to us a little bit about what happened in this match.
I mean, my match was... I forgot to submit last week in Pro. And I had Druid, so I had to carry over with Druid, and that was not a good idea. First time that I forgot to submit, actually, all my THL career. Do not do that in a nerf week.
So I like Dardar Binks here showing up first match first match in Pro as far as I can tell, and getting a sweep over Roadrunner.
Yeah, I mean, he is 6-0 in Hero, so.
Yeah, no. I mean, I wasn't saying THL. Like, he's obviously killing it over in Hero, and that, no spoilers, will be something we talk about during the Hero PPR segment. But, not surprising that he'll make the transition to Conquest and be successful.
I still defend that I'm the worst player in this team. No issues with that.
I mean, if you're the worst player on the team is doing all right, because Avi and Atomos are just crushing this season, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
All right, we got any other thoughts, Brushy?
I think this was my best match of predictions last week.
There you go.
3.
Yeah. That'll be tough. Tough
Yeah,
week.
it's okay.
Mako, any thoughts on either of these teams here before we move on?
I got this match completely right, except for the A2 match. So I'm killing it, guys.
We all got that one wrong.
Listen,
Man, you had
started
a great week, and you're still only 5 points ahead of me. Relax.
had a great, bro. I've had 6 great weeks. Don't get me started on that. There's a
Oh, really?
reason I'm in first place, okay? And it ain't no fluke.
So week 1 with 12 points was a great week.
I got second.
I'm surprised.
I got
I'm
second.
surprised when Mako wins a week, we don't get added in the Discord with like GG's Mako or GG's Brushy, Lotus, and Donde on your picks. Hope to see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm thinking about doing it right now.
Do it. Do it. Post it on Twitter too.
Yeah, give
I'm
him access
avoiding
to all the Twitter accounts.
I'm avoiding getting on our Twitter for a couple of days after the
After that liked image.
Yeah, that was fun. That got posted other places.
it went lots of places, yeah. But it was funny. Oh well, I don't care.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, whatever. It's not like it's a big deal, but I thought it was funny.
You know what? Outside, if the account wasn't named what it was named, then no one would have said a single freaking word. But it's the fact that the account was named the Horny Police that someone was like,
I mean, to be fair, the account is pretty accurate to what it was doing.
Yeah.
Yes, it was doing its job.
It was doing its job.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we shouldn't defund all the police. Oh man.
Shit. All right.
On to match number 4.
Moving on.
F2L versus the Beard Boys. F2L with a win 14-12. G Lee up in the top with a win over Always Just in Time 3-1. Then Berserk and Itachi both fell to Anazabe and Myanodon 3-1 apiece. And then Snake and Rescue Wabbit get wins over Getting It and Inzi, who are still both looking for their first win. No spoilers there. But we might have some info about that in the preview section. But F2L, this was a close one here, and the Beard Boys are obviously struggling pretty hard right now, 1-5. And if you're F2L, you're feeling good. You're in 4th place right now. That's playoff position. You are only 1 point ahead of the 2 teams right behind you. But I think this is one they might have wanted to take a few more points off of if they could have.
I mean, this is the last team in the standings, so you really need to score as many points as you can against them. This is a team you need to have a 23-point week against just because of how competitive this season is. If you look, there are 6 teams above, there are basically 5 teams tied for 4th right now. So you really, really need to play fast.
Yeah, I mean, you've got teams stretching from F2L all the way down to Tap Last, for example, 8 points out of the playoff race right now, and Tap Last is certainly a potent enough team that they can make up that ground very quickly. And I mean, even the Unknown, 4 points behind them, is not out of this by any means. And I would say at this point, you know, we're what, 6 weeks into the season right now, and this is 5 more weeks ago, so we're just at the halfway point. There's plenty of time for the Beard Boys to still come back and make the playoffs, but this is such a hard hill to climb at this point, especially considering they're on more in the middle-ish as far as the opponent's schedule is concerned, so they're not really going to see too much of an ease up in the difficulty of their opponents as we go into the last few weeks of the season. All right. Any other thoughts here before we move on to match number 5?
Oh, match number 5. Let's go.
Let's go. Speedy, speedy, zoom, zoom. Due Process versus the Windkeepers. Due Process coming off a 2-win streak that got shut down by the Windkeepers. And I think it's interesting. These are 2 very, I guess, kind of surprising team is the fact that they're both in the playoff race and both were considered to not really be much of a factor at the outset of the season. And they're both tied right now with Windkeepers winning 16-10 here. FBM and Goose doing what they do and just winning every week, it seems like, in the 1 and the 2. But then Easy Bake Nails and Free Hong Kong all won for the Windkeepers. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's Pawn's second win in a row. So that might be the key to success for the Windkeepers, is if he can pick up wins down there, they can be very competitive. So this is a big week for the Windkeepers. Get them right back in the playoff race, though they do have, both these teams have harder opponents on the schedule to go. Mako, I'll start this one with you. FBM and Goose have been just dominant. 10 of the wins for Due Process out of 16, and it seems like if Due Process is going to win, they got to find a win. They got to at least get one out of those bottom 3 in order to be competitive here. And every week it seems like they're struggling to do that.
Yeah, the Due Process really made this upcoming week hard to pick for. But FBM, like, coming in a week into the season, into week 2, and just absolutely destroying. It's kind of crazy that took Due Process. I think week 1 they struggled, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, and just like took that team and just start sweeping. It's crazy. I think he might be the only undefeated player in the Pro Series. Am I wrong?
As far as a player that's had at least 4 or 5 matches, at least half the season, then that's correct. I believe he's the only undefeated player.
Yeah, it was like him, Buck Nasty, and German Shep were like all going like head and head, but like German Shep and Buck Nasty, I think both lost like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they both have. I think German Shep might have 2, and then Buck Nasty has 1.
No, they're both 5-1.
They're both 5-1. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so only undefeated player left in Pro Series with like an actual amount of games, not like 1 games, but yeah, I mean, it's insane. I had this going towards Due Process as a 3-2. It ended up being 3-2 the other way. Again, 4 out of 5 matches correct. So if you would like to know how your team's going to end up next week, just ask me, because I've already predicted it correctly. But yeah, the only one I got wrong was the 4C matchup. But
yeah, I had this as a 4-1 win for Due Process. So I was definitely thinking that they had this one. I thought this was going to be their 3rd win in a row. But yeah, FBM and Goose are definitely hard carrying right now. And it's funny, we see this probably at least once a season where there's one team where there's 1 or 2 players that are just like willing their team to a victory every week, and if they can just get a little bit of help elsewhere, then the team is good. But is that enough to get them into the playoffs? Do you think that's going to be the end result here, Brushy?
No. If you look at the top 4 teams right now, of like Bad to the Bone, For the Boys, Hyper Horizon, and F2L, I think most of their team is about 500 or better, with the exception of LotusKnight on Bad to the Bone. But so it's like, sorry, Lotus, I just remember that when I was talking about Bad to the Bone. But like, it's all their seeds and on all those teams are really like picking up, in every spot. So it doesn't matter if like, say Goose or Reggie pick up a loss, like the other seeds need to like start picking up their weight and just not rely on FBM2 and Goose to continually crush the season. Because I can hurt them in the last week where they really need those points, and then say one of them loses, and then they're just out of it because no one else picked up the weight.
All right, Lotus, any thoughts on this one here before we move on to the last match?
I think something to note about Due Process is they've had the easiest schedule so far. By far, their EOS is way lower than everyone else's. They're going to be facing a lot of the top teams soon, since that's the case. So they need big wins, and this wasn't it. This kind of puts me down in my view of Due Process, and I think the Windkeepers stand a much better chance, having not as high as an AOS, but something a little bit higher.
I mean, they are the
it's not
second
that much higher.
Second easiest schedule so far, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
it's. I think we're gonna hold one team to one of the standards. The other one probably is in pretty similar.
The other one's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just because of JR. I'm going to hold JR down.
Ah.
Why not?
that's fair.
Captain. Yep, when in doubt,
Reasonable.
blame the captain. That's fine. All right, on to our
Unless
final
it's
match
Aeon.
of last week. Yeah, Mako, yeah, we blame you every week that Aeon loses. Canadian Clown Fiesta with a 14-13 win over Tap Last 103. This was, I guess, a little bit of an upset in terms of where the teams have been at historically. Point-wise, they were pretty even, though. As you can see now, Canadian Clown Fiesta is 1 point ahead, and they're 1 point ahead in the standings. So this is a 3-2 win for Based in a sub over Jester, also a sub. And then Wangor with a 3-2 win over CMAC. Your Mumcat did sweep Phoenix, which helped out Tap Last tremendously, and Typhoon got a win over Rarin. But Yockster with a 3-1 win over the last champ to clinch it there. So Canadian Clown Fiesta, another competitive team. On the back half of the back end of that little clump there, that's just missing the 4th place in the standings. So they're still very much alive. And this was, I think, hard to call it a statement win. I guess it's a win that keeps them very much alive in the conversation. But Tap Last has struggled this season. It wasn't a blowout by any means. Tap Last hung in with them. I think it's an impressive win for what it's worth, but I don't know if it's necessarily going to be the driving factor in a playoff run here for Canadian Clown Fiesta. Lotus, I'll start with you on this one. What did you think about this match?
Very tight match. I think I really like Canadian Clown Fiesta. Because it's a Saku captain team. You can't ever root against Saku in any way. But I think they have a really good squad. And bringing Baze in, even if just for a match, makes any team more insane. So, really good job for Canadian Clown Fiesta. And I do think, back to the AOS issue, this is a problem for Tap Last. The advantage is he's facing the opponents he wants to face. But the team really needs to start growing fast. And this match also puts them down further than they want to be.
All right, Brushy, what do you think?
Canadian Clown Fiesta just they're still holding in. This is a good win here to beat someone else of like equal points here, but they're just like everyone else at this 80 point and below. They gotta start winning big and winning big fast to keep up with the teams that are currently in playoffs.
I think the most shocking thing for me looking at this is that Rarin loss.
Yeah, me too.
Like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm glad everybody picked him to win, so like, I didn't get punished for picking what I thought would be the obvious win, but Typhoon was like, no. He thought so, but
I mean, Typhoon's a good player, so let's
agreed.
not forget from a few seasons ago he beat Language Hacker in the playoffs. That
I know. Yeah. So I feel like I don't even know, man. I don't even know. It shocked me because I'm seeing this for the first time right now.
Pro Series is like that. It's a lot of really good players, a lot of unexpected results from time to time. So before we slide into power rankings, player power rankings, let's flash the pro power rankings, the team power rankings here. Thanks to our friends over at the THL POW Power Podcast. That is updated for week 6 and is on the main POW bot. And it's updated on the main page of the website, so you can check that out. And please do so, because Isocles and Mad at Arms do a great job every week, and we love to continue to support those guys doing what they do here. So they provide us with the power rankings, and then we pick them apart. But I don't really have too much to bash here. I mean, PowBot has the 3 teams that we saw at the top of the standings. Hyper Horizon for the boys, Bad to the Bone are the far and away the 3 best teams right now. And then you've got kind of that cluster there. What I find interesting, so like if you look at the score in the center column there, kind of the power score. Can you do it? I said POW, so you can do it.
Pow!
Thank you. There you go.
Pow, pow.
So, Canadian Clown Fiesta and the Unknown, and Tap Blast for that matter, despite being right there in points, are significantly lower in the power standings. Pow. And I think that kind of tracks a little bit with what we were talking about, where those teams they're on the back half of that clump, but I think they're still alive. But there is kind of a gap there in terms of the performance between them, F2L, the Windkeepers, Aeon, and Due Process. And now, what I find interesting is, to the eye test, Man at Arms has F2L in 4th, which is where they are in the standings. But Powerbot thinks that they are much worse, having them down at 7th in the standings. So that's kind of what I want to focus in on here. Mako, what do you think? Do you think it's...
Icicleaf has them down at 7th.
Icicleaf does too, and then the average kind of bumps them up a little ways. So do you think
That's
Powerbot
it.
and Icicleaf are right, or do you think Man at Arms is right? Do we lose Mako?
What's up?
Mako?
I'm real tired, man. I'm sorry. What's going on?
F2L.
Yeah.
Their ranking.
Yeah, they're in the middle.
And what do you think about that? I'm gonna lead this horse to water.
You're
Why are you gonna force it to drink?
I don't think they'll make playoffs.
All right, so you're more on Team Powbot then. All right.
Pow.
Because here's the thing: there's only 4 teams that make playoffs, right? High
Yeah.
Prize and For the Boys are way ahead of the pack. Bad to the Bone is like 10 points, give or take 1 point, ahead of the team in 4th, right? Correct?
A little more than that, I think.
Okay. And then the 4th team has got to be Aeon. So like there's literally no room.
Got to be
Like
Aeon.
we don't take more than 4 teams in playoffs. So like I mean, sorry about all the other teams, but like there's 3 teams at the top, and then there's Aeon's gonna squeak in. It's tradition. We'll literally squeak in by like 1 point at the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think we did last season though.
The script
You
for
didn't
this
make it
season says we do. So
The writers are just getting boring though, because then they're repeating.
I'm
what's
really
already
hoping
happened.
that we don't squeak in by like 1 point, because someone's gonna come back to this part, clip this, think it's rigged.
Rigged. All right, Lotus, thoughts here on the standings, F2L in particular.
Honestly, I think it makes sense. I think if F2L, yeah, they are a good team, but there are a lot of teams competing for the middle spot, and some of them have higher strength of schedule, specifically Aeon. So I'm not completely against putting Aeon higher than it is, even though I don't want Donde to make playoffs.
There it is. All right, Brushy,
That's
last
fair.
thoughts? No, that's fair.
I think I agree 100% with how Powbot has it. Pow.
Pow.
I do think Aeon will miss playoffs. I just think the Bad to the Bone, For the Boys, Hyperize, and Due Process are just slightly stronger, but Aeon could go on a hot streak and possibly sneak in and take that 4th spot. But as of right now, I think Powbot has it perfect.
Pow.
Of the strength and who's top 4 and whatnot.
I feel like we need a pow emote now.
Pow.
You need to get like a transition thing does
like
like
a
the
comic
panel,
comic
pow,
Yeah,
and
you
like
make
it
the
pops up on
comic
the screen,
pow.
and it's like
Specifically
pow,
for
and it
this
pops up.
transition, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just for this transition.
All right, well, we're going to move on. Thank you again to Mad at Arms for getting that over to us. Always appreciate having your podcast, timely and up on the website, which he kind of like tried to reverse psychology me to the other day and be like, yeah, Donde won't post this, and I posted it in like 8 seconds, so get at me. All right, moving on to the Legacy PPR. That's the player power rankings. So as we've done in the player pow. We are going to start with the honorable mentions. These are the players that are just outside the top 10. Roll it. Marty B, our hat. He was in the top 10. He fell out. Amage 10 or Amage 10. I apologize. The Big Ted and Agent PWE are. These are all unranked players from last week. So these are all players that are moving up. And we lost a couple players from the honorable mentions in the low half of the top 10 as well. So what I find interesting here is that we have 3 and 3 players that are represented, which is usually not the case.
That is very strange, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't understand this PPR
player.
thing. Donde, can you explain it to everybody? What? How do people get on this thing?
I feel like I explain it every other week, but that's fine. So
I think it's
Explain it in
warranted
chat,
now
I
that
still
we're
don't
looking at
explain
50% win rate players
Sure.
up here.
So it is a combination of your record, of course, your game score, and then your significant wins. So the significant wins are graded as the player that you played against, what their record was when you played them. So if your opponent has a good record and you beat them, your score goes up. If you sweep your opponent in a significant win scenario, your point score goes way up. So then that's how everything is ranked.
If Donde likes you, your score also goes up. Just
Keep in
FYI.
mind, our hat made this sheet, so if you want to direct any rigged comments, you can direct it at him.
I gotta say, neither one of those board members like me, so I don't know how the hero one works.
Wow.
Not only did I not get a chance for board, I lost out on mod. I'm just hated on.
Oh.
Wow. This is not a pity party, man.
It's a pity party, all right? I'm sweating in this onesie. I'm dying over here, but I'm committed to it.
I don't remember any of us telling you
actually,
to do that.
No, hold up. I have a legit question.
Yeah.
Brushy, you're living in you're in a hotel or something, right? Because you're traveling
for work. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like you know the question I'm going to ask. Did you pack
Travel
up this?
No. I went home this past Saturday for the first time in 6 months.
Okay, all right.
And I picked it up when I went home.
I thought you should travel with this onesie. I just thought of this.
Just army duffel, and it's just all my army gear, and then just one random Mike Wazowski onesie hidden in there.
I don't know,
exactly
man.
how I travel.
I don't know, man. There's a guy on my League of Legends team who's a furry, so I don't know what it would be. I wasn't gonna judge, but I was curious, why you just had this with you in the hotel.
So I have all this Mike Wazowski stuff because my niece used to not be able to say my last name, so she just called me Wazowski because she loved Monsters Inc. So now I get random Mike Wazowski stuff 2 to 3 times a year.
Guys, his niece can't pronounce the word tuna.
Yeah. She was 6 months, man. Tuna's a hard word, but apparently Wazowski's easy.
Uncle Tuna.
Why don't we look at the top 10 players?
Top 10.
Top 10. Pow.
Top 10. Pow.
There was a little shift at the top, despite the fact that they're both undefeated. JR jumped over Neji into number 1. He's currently 15-3, which is just absurd. With another sweep this past week, which just bumped him up a little bit higher. So Neji at 2. Baystink moves up 4 spots, still insane, to number 3. No Glocko with a slight drop to number 4. Duwin is also 5-0. We saw Duwin on stream on Saturday as well. 5-0, plus 5 spots up. Comp and Durden, they were honorable mentions, and now they're in the top 10. Free Hong Kong and Mojo Powell were not represented, but they just jumped right into the top 10. Don't even care about the honorable mentions. Astro Frog rounds it out. Did lose, dropped 5 spots, still in the top 10. So I think every player here, no more than 2 losses. Mojo Powell, the only one with 2 losses there, but a good game score. So this is a pretty solid list, and I think it's also nice to see some diversity. 6 red, 4 gold.
Yeah.
JR says enjoy because it's never happening again.
I'm gonna say I called it last season by calling JR the comeback player. I was just wrong in the series and the year, but JR was going to come back at some point.
Well, we'll see if he can hang on to it. The legacy season's almost over. There's only 2 more weeks, I think, of the regular season. So this is not a lot of time for the standings to shift. And in fact, Hero's actually over next week, regular season that is.
3 more, right?
Yeah. Some people have already played their matches this week. on stream.
Yeah. I must have blocked that out.
It was last night.
Well, let's talk about Hero then.
Yeah.
Hero,
pow, pow.
Hero, pow. Starting with the honorable mentions again, we've got Ron Mexico bringing up the rear, also bringing up the rear in terms of viewers right now. Three viewers on stream to our 19 come at us. Called out. That's what you get for streaming at the same time as us, bro.
Bro, we do this every week, bro.
We do this every
material.
I know, and we joke about it every week too. Lord Zeolite showing up on the honorable mentions for the first time here. Itachi did fall out of the top 10. Blue Sombrero, he's a pretty good player historically. He's in the honorable mention for the first time. Turtle moved up one spot, just couldn't quite break into the top 10 at 5-1 because the top 10 is just crazy right now. That's what that happens a lot in Hero. Hero ends up being pretty polarized. He had a lot of like really, really good records, and then there's kind of a gap there between like the top players and then the next set. Any thoughts on the honorable mentions before we show the top 10?
Yeah, just one teal. I'm curious what the top 10 is going to look like.
Are you that curious?
Yeah.
I mean, you already know what the top 10 looks like.
I just want to see that number 5 person.
Who's number 5?
See.
Oh, it's BrushyTuna. All right. Pow.
Pow! Top 10, pow!
So,
Hero, pow.
as mentioned before, there were only one teal player in the honorable mentions because there's 6 of them in the top 10 here. So starting at the top, Agent PWE undefeated 6-0. G-Kick now defeated once. Drops down one spot to number 2. Darter Binks, we talked about him in the pro recap. 6-0, just slightly behind G-Kick in terms of that game score, 18-8 versus 17-4. So he's clocking at number 3 this week. 2's historically very good hero player at 5-1, number 4. Brushy, what are you doing up there, bud? 3 spots up to number 5, top 5.
Hey, my record's wrong.
Well, that's because you won this week.
I'm 5-2 now.
Yeah. We don't give you points for playing earlier than HearthCenter. That's not how this works.
Also, it messes up the spreadsheets. It's been an issue multiple times.
It has been an issue multiple times. Luckily, I try to get to this either late Monday or early Tuesday before people do crazy things in play. But Pasca sometimes screws me anyway, because he's like, "I'll play Monday night. I don't care.
I'll play Monday at 9 a.m. Sure.
Yeah, love you, Pasca. Ruining my sheets. Astro Frog, number 6. I still love Pasca. Astro Frog, top 10 in both series so far. Chewbacca, 5-1. Did drop 4 spots, but still at 7th. Adamos was like, hey, I don't care about the honorable mentions. I'm number 8. A2 is number 9. And Ridiculous Hat, number 10. So another player that appeared on both standings. Yeah, Astro killing it this season. R-Hat killing it this season.
R-Hat doing R-Hat things.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a good player. That's like not shocking.
Yeah.
I definitely pumped him up a little bit with letting him sweep me, because that's totally what happened to get him into the top 10. So
got swept by the better board member. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
R-Hat putting you in your place.
Yeah, I predicted the deck that he was going to bring, and then he swept me with it. Because he's good at card games. So, I won't tell you what deck that is because that's information sharing and that's not fair.
That's leaking strats.
Yeah, leaking strats, bad.
Yeah, bad.
Anybody got anything here?
Yeah, the number 5 guy's crazy good.
Yeah, he's alright.
If you watched Schoolstone this weekend, you saw G-Kick versus Astro Frog. That was an amazing match.
That is an amazing match, yeah.
And if you do want to play on stream, Schoolstone is still looking for a match, so hit me up.
Saturday as well. Let me know. Saturday night, that is. Where Brushy has decided to abandon me.
Listen, I'm casting college this weekend, man.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry.
Plug your thing then. Plug your thing while we transition to
I don't
the
even know
week
what
7.
it's called. Hold on, I gotta go look it up.
Boy.
The Zips Esports Hearthstone Invitational College Punch-Out Bowl. I don't know. I made up that last part.
Akron Zips?
No, I mean Akron's a team.
Yeah, I would say University of Akron is the Zips. That's their school's mascot.
Oh. As it just says Zips Esports Hearthstone Invitational.
Yeah, L2 College Sports, man. Come on.
Listen, man. All I know is they needed someone. I joined in. But there's a lot of THL players in it. Like we got obviously, always just in time. Turtle, A2's in it. I think Eggo Waffle's in it. Inzi's in it, and a couple other pretty good THL players are in it playing this weekend. I think Typhoon's in it as well. So should be a fun weekend.
All right, so a lot of good THL talent there. That's good to see.
Dardar's in it too. I haven't forgot you, Dardar. I didn't see your comment. I knew of you first.
I do, but not mentioned. Yes. See, that's the risk you run when you start mentioning people specifically. You leave someone out.
I was just going through the Discord and decided to stop after like the 6th name.
All right, well that's fair. All right, well, I'm excited for you to be able to give your talents to something that's not Salty Saturday, even though you were, doing a very poor job negotiating because you went from a $0 salary on Salty Saturday to a $0 salary for this tournament. So I really feel like you could have got better.
Yeah, but exposure.
Exposure, yeah. If you expose yourself on that stream, you're going to never be invited back.
I expose myself every stream. Look at my bald head. It's thinning.
Oh yeah, you think you're the only one?
I mean,
yeah, it's all.
You're also like 49, Donde, so like, you got a couple years ahead of me.
Even my head is getting balder by the day, but no one's going to see that.
Listen, after next week's HearthCenter, well, 2 weeks from now, I will be allowed to be president, so you can vote for me instead of
President of what?
Of the United States, man.
Oh, because it's your birthday.
Yeah, I turned 35, dog.
Dang.
Ooh,
dog.
can we get a special birthday cake on stream?
I mean,
I'll dress up for your birthday by wearing the Mike Wazowski ones.
I'm not gonna turn down birthday cake. I prefer ice cream.
Let's get it delivered in.
I'm gonna make it here Donde and ship it to you. Hope it makes it there.
Cool. That won't go poorly.
At all? No.
No.
No, it will not.
It's all right, because while we're talking about food things, here's a real conversation I had with my wife today. I said
Taco Bell or Wendy.
No, I said, hey, what should I do for lunch? She's like, make a sandwich. I was like, okay. Where's the bread? Oh, I threw it out because it's moldy. So how am I supposed to make a sandwich? I don't know. That conversation happened. I was just like, what?
That's called getting owned by your wife.
And then I was like, so what did you do for lunch? She's like, I just rolled the meat up into cheese. It's like, so you had like a charcuterie plate, basically. Okay.
Yeah. I've done that before. It's delicious.
So what I'm saying is,
you
please
eat all them carbs.
Please pack some ice in the food that you send me, so that way it stays.
How about this, Donde? I'll send you this fork to eat your cake.
Oh man, that's the nicest present I've ever received, potentially.
Oh, it's pronounced chartreuse. You fool. I don't know.
Charcuterie. Charcuterie. That was charcuterie.
Shark bait. Ooh,
Shark bait. Big win this week in Legacy, by the way.
Yeah, now she's got to take me on in Legacy. Bring it, shark bait.
Well, I mean, she's already BGH, so.
Ooh, that's okay.
We'll let the Legacy crew talk about that tomorrow night.
Yeah. Let's get on to this preview.
Let's go on a preview. Pow!
Preview. Pow! Pro, pow! Preview. Pow! Pow, pow. Yo, I got this.
I can't even handle it. Yeah, you just take this away.
We got Hype Horizon versus Due Process. Cool Kid 2001, 5-1, taking on the 5-0 FBN 2. The 2-seed Liquid Ox 5-1, taking on Goose 5-1. 4-2 D Money against 2-4 Mr. Python. 4-2 Mick Banterface taking on Bullion. And the 3-3 Gamer RVG taking on the 2-4 Dr. BOMD himself.
I should just let you do all the reads.
Yeah.
Hype.
Way
Hype
more energy.
hype.
Way more hype.
Different accent for each read.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into my garbage picks of the week.
Go for it.
Let's see if I get it. So I got FBM2 continuing his amazing pro run. Gonna go undefeated still. I got Goose beating Liquid Ox. D Money, McBanterface, and Gamer RVG will take 3 wins for Hype Horizon, making it 3-2 for Hype. Due Process, the bottom 3 seeds need to pick it up for you guys. Got all trust in the 1 and 2, but the 3 through 5 need to step it up. So
All right, Mako, your picks.
So this was really hard for me to pick in the beginning, because the 1 and 2 seeds, they're just not they're not as easy picks to do. So I ended up going with FBM winning for due process, and then a sweep for 2 through 5 seeds for
All
high
right.
pricing. Sorry.
Yep, Lotus. I think you had a very similar, if not the exact same.
I had the exact same. I think Mako's smart. I'm just copying his homework.
There you go. Copying the teacher. I like it. I went with the strategy of, again, yes, the top seed matchups here are very tough to pick. So I went with the strategy of I'm picking the people who whip my butt. So I ended up picking Cool Kid and Goose because I lost to both of them this season so far. And
I lost FBM2 and Liquidox, so I had to bring those two.
Yeah. So this is I picked them, but I could see Liquidox and FBM easily winning. There's no outcome that would surprise me from the top 2 matchups here. I guess other than I don't expect sweeps. I would expect 5-game series for both of those. But then I did go with Hyper Horizon across the board for the bottom 3 with D-Money, McManterface, and Gamer RVG winning. So yep, all 4 of us on the Hyper Horizon train again. As due process's first week here.
It's hard to vote against them.
It's not a slight to due process. It's just Hyper Horizon is rolling right now.
Hype.
And hype, pow,
pow.
So just catching a molten hot team at the wrong time. Due process needs this win. They really need the win. And honestly, if they win, then my hat goes off to them because that will be one of the hardest wins to get all season of any team in the entire series.
Yeah,
Match
absolutely.
Dose.
Or Savai, for you Germans out there.
Sure. For the Hombres versus the Windkeepers. You like that?
I do like that.
I like that.
Except for you've already done that, so your
Have I done that? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't realize I'd done that. My bad. I should keep track of all the Spanish I use.
My attention span may only be 2 seconds long, but I remember things during those 2 seconds.
I'll make my picks real easy here. I've got 4 of the boys just sweeping. So
Ooh.
Yeah, this one's I
Get your broomsticks out.
Yeah, I seem to be doing this once a week, other than picking Aeon to sweep, except for last week where I picked Aeon to sweep, except for me, and I was right about that at least. But Mako, I'll let you go with this one for the boys and the Windkeepers.
Yeah. So excuse me. Sorry. There we go. I ended up going with a 4-1 win for the boys, with a win coming in the 3 seed for Nails.
Yep.
I don't know why I picked it.
I'd say Dabs started 0-2, and now he's won his last 4 matches.
Yeah.
I mean, Nails started 0-1, and now Nails is 2-1.
That is exactly half of Dab's record.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute.
I'm the only one to beat Nails.
Is this
Dobbs?
Player. Is this Dobbs? Is this another Dabs alt account?
No, this is the real one.
No, Nails. It's Nails.
Oh. Dabs is just playing himself.
Nails is pretty Nails is pretty sus.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have enough to vote on it right now, but we should definitely keep that sus for future rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's skip vote.
Yeah, we don't have to vote with this amount, so.
Okay.
I skipped.
Yeah, you don't vote on 4.
Yeah. Lotus, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, honestly, I think this match is going to be La Bamba for the Windkeepers. I can't see them doing that well this time. For the boys, it's just crushing it. I think everyone but Mata is going to win because I'm choosing to pick on Mata for no real reason. Other than I think Tom is a decent player.
Lotus is like, you lost to Brushy. You suck. Get out of here.
Brushy, what do you got here?
Easy 100% right on this one. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, I got Buck Nasty and German Shep taking the 1 and 2, Nails and Clone taking the 3 and 4, and then Bo Show coming in and winning that match against Free Hong Kong. Gonna end his winning streak.
All right. Match number 3.
Number 3.
BTTB versus Tap Last 103. This is... Somebody's talking there. Messed me up. Anyway, this is a this is going to be closer than the standings would imply. I think Bad to the Bone does win it, but I'm going to go with a 3-2 win for Bad to the Bone over Tap Last. I've got Avi and Atomos winning in the 1 and the 2 because that's just all they've been doing this season. I know Lawful Dog's 4-1 as well, and your Mumkad's been on a heater too. But just something about like watching the two of these guys this season in other series as well, like they got it working, and I think it's tough to pick against them right now. And Dardar, who has not lost in THL apparently yet, I'm going to pick over the last champ. So that's I don't want to say like easy pick, but like Dardar hasn't lost yet, so it's hard to pick against him either. I will pick Typhoon and CMAC over A2 and the LotusKnight though. Lotus, you told me to stop respecting you, so I hope.
Bro, did you copy my homework, bro?
Did I?
Yeah, I was the first one to do these picks.
Oh, I
know it for sure because I did.
Why would I look at somebody who does the picks wrong and copy them?
The three of you picked the exact same.
Yeah,
that's actually amusing.
You and I got the exact same, Donde. Come on, bro.
And Mako too.
Oh, Mako has the same.
Yeah,
no,
all three of us.
No, Mako has Motto winning.
Well, Mata's in the last game, so that doesn't really matter.
Oh, Mako
that doesn't matter at all.
If I look at the right match, Mako has the exact same picks. All right, no one's gaining any ranks on anyone for that match except for maybe Lotus won.
Well, Lotus, talk to us about your picks, which were actually different.
I mean, I still think we have an insane trio on Avi, Adamos, and Dardar. And I think A2 is a really good player. So I think we're going to go 4-1. And I like betting against myself, so I'm going to keep that trend.
Listen, easy. Lotus, I already softened up CMAC for the week for you, all right? He's starting off 0-1 in the week. He got him.
I mean, I'm facing... Yeah. It's going to be an interesting match. CMAC is a... I think we played against each other once, so it's going to be a fun match, whatever happens.
Yeah, it's always fun playing CMAC. We emoted each other the entire hour-plus long match. The entire time.
That's a lot of emotes. I probably would have squelched you.
It was, I rewatched the VOD, and Ted and Ron were losing it the whole time because of the amount of emotes that were flying.
All right, on to match number 4, F2L versus the Unknown.
Whoop whoop. Number 4.
Brushy, bring us the hype. Let's go.
Bring us the hype. We got this team that looks good on paper, but it's not doing really good right now. The Unknown taking on F2L. Icicles taking on Glee in the 1 seed. Solo Jazz taking on Berserk in the 2. Me, myself, and I, BrushyTuna, taking on Jammies in the 3. Raw Mexico versus Rescue Wabbit in the 4. And then we got Skittles versus Itachi in the 5. And easy prediction, 5-0 Unknown. We're making a comeback. We're going for a playoff push. We're going to knock Aeon out in the last week somehow. I don't know yet. I haven't done the math on it yet, but that's the game plan. Get Aeon out of here.
Mako. I don't know how you follow that act up, but I'm going to let you try.
We ignore all the bull crap that he just said.
That's fair. That's fair. That's a good start. That's a good start.
We laugh because he falls behind week after week in his HearthCenter picks by picking the sweep for the third to last team in all of Pro.
Yeah. My team. I trust my team, and I want to win these picks by 5-0 and the Unknown every week.
And we tell him the truth, which is his team's not going to win this week.
That's fine.
I have 3-2 for F2L. I do have it close, but I have Brushy and Ron. I need to change that.
Nah, it's too late. You're locked in on Ron.
I don't.
Nah, you're
Matt
locked in
doesn't
on
play.
Ron.
I'm changing. I don't care.
Oh.
I'm breaking the rules here.
Listen, here's the thing.
Ron
you can't
has
pick
let me
against
down.
Ron while facing someone named Rescue Wabbit because he's been taking care of his rabbit for almost a month straight now. So he knows how to deal with Wabbits, and it's Wabbit season for Ron.
Okay.
He's gonna win that.
So is he going to hurt his own wabbit, or
No, he's gonna take care of him but beat him at the same time. Like, you know when like a football player like pancakes someone but they still help him up afterwards. That's what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be like, oh, sorry, let me help you up real quick. You know.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I don't know
analogies
if
are
I
getting
follow the
weird.
analogy, but sure, let's we'll
It's
go with
bad.
it.
Let's just go with it.
All right, Lotus. So I think you agreed with Mako until Mako went rogue right there.
I believe Lotus muted himself. Yeah.
He did.
He may have muted himself.
Yeah, sorry. If it gets a loud noise, it's because there's a lot of lightning going on right now.
Tell
I
them to stop celebrating their Stanley Cup victory. All right.
He does not get that reference. I guarantee it.
no, no idea what that was, but I think this is going to be an F2L victory. I think Tuna and Ron are going to win, but that's kind of it. And I don't see the unknown comeback happening yet.
It's okay. You don't have to believe.
So
We're
I, for
unknown.
some reason, also believe in Tuna and Ron, but I also believe in
Yeah,
Skittles.
it's stupid.
So I have I have a
Skittles.
3-2 win. 3-2 win for the unknown.
Nice.
Nice. On to match number 5. I'll
Nice.
make this real easy for you. It's gonna be an Aeon sweep. I didn't pick a sweep last week, and we didn't win, so I'm
Gold
going
coin.
back to the sweep. Mako, I have a feeling I know what you're gonna do.
No, he's switching it
You're
up.
damn right.
He has to.
He
Oh
did
no,
not
you went
switch
back to the old strat.
He went back to the
Oh,
classic strat.
no.
That
El
gets Aeon.
Clasico.
That gets Aeon wins,
El
but still,
Clasico.
yeah, El Clasico.
Yeah, I did go for that 4-1 Aeon win with the Donde loss.
Would not be unreasonable.
It's never unreasonable to pick against Donde.
Brushy, did you pick against Donde?
I did.
You jerk.
I did. But I still have 3-2 for Aeon.
Okay.
So let's not go crazy. I got R-Hat beating Heat Shock. I got Dr. Pyro smacking Donde around 3-1 to get that prediction exactly right. I got Valdez beating Markshire. And then I got Risen and Neji Boston picking it up in the 4 and 5 for 3-2 Aeon.
And I think Lotus might be the only one who disagrees with an Aeon win this week.
Go on. What are his picks?
Well, I was going to let him introduce his picks.
He said BRB.
Oh, I don't read the chat. I got too many things going on over here.
Sorry, there's
he's
so
back.
much happening. I was afraid that it was going to ruin the stream. So, kick me out if it gets really bad, Donde.
You're good, fam.
I think Aeon versus the Wishas. Aeon. I don't see Aeon winning this week. I think it's a really important week, but I think the Wishas are going to win with Heatshock, Pyro, and Ufrik making it through for the Wishas. Markshire and Neji are going to win from it for Aeon.
I agree that Markshire and Neji are going to win. But so are the rest of the Aeon boys. Last match of the week. Canadian Clown Fiesta versus the Beard Boys. Pow! There's actually a result here. Screenshot, of course, taken before the result. And I know, Lotus, you would never have cheated and looked at the results before you picked, right?
Lotus has been picking Inzi like every week.
Inzi played with me, and he was in the Albatross. I always pick the Albatross.
All right.
Was very.
And I will confirm Mako definitely picked Inzi before the picks. So Mako, your vouch, no sus. So this one is going to be, I think, a 3-2 win for the Canadian Clown Fiesta. They've shown that they are a team that will hang, and they are a team that will get wins, and I think they will continue here. I think Wait, I lied. I have this as a 3-2 win for the Beer Boys. My bad. My intro means nothing anymore. I have Honest Abe, always just in time. I ended on winning. Sorry.
Ooh.
But I was wrong about Yockster, so now I guess that technically means that,
Me too.
this is probably going to be a 4-1 win for the Beard Boys instead. Lotus, your picks.
For this one second. For this match, I have Zabe, always just in time, and Inzi winning and taking it for the Beard Boy.
And I think, Mako, you agreed with that assessment.
Yes, I had the exact same thing. Yes, the exact same thing.
And Brushy, you did not have the exact same thing. In fact, you were the only one,
That's
I
right.
think, to pick Canadian Clown Fiesta.
Gotta pick them Clown Fiesta Canadian boys. I got Wangor beating Honest Zabe. I always pick always just in time because he absolutely smacked me in week 2 of pro, so I keep giving him his respects. I have Corridon beating Myanodon, getting it, beating Phoenix, and I was wrong about the 5-seed match. I had Yachtster beating Inzi, but Inzi already picked that one up.
Well, all right. Well, that wraps up the picks for the week. As mentioned before, we are looking for some Saturday night matches. So if you are in any series, not necessarily have to be pro, please let me know, and we will try to get you on stream Saturday night. I think
Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you, Elton. Unless you were doing the Mr.
No, I was doing
Peanut.
Elton John.
All right. Anyway,
always Elton John.
always Elton. And Lotus is looking for some School Snow matches as well, so definitely reach out to him if you're looking to play Saturday and or Sunday afternoon. We will try to get as many matches on stream as possible. That being said, we are done here for the evening, so we will be back again with you next week, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Please tune in tomorrow night where we will have Mike Wazowski. He will not be on Tavern Talk, but the
You don't know that.
I guess I don't. I really don't. But Tavern Talk will be here tomorrow night, 9 p.m., talking about all your legacy needs and hopefully legacy. Just skip over the part about the Hot Zilfs getting trounced last week, and you'll be good. And other than that, we will be back with you next week. Good luck to everybody playing any matches the remainder of the week, and we will see you later. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
See y'all.
See y'all.
Pow!
Pow!